All right, so today we're going to dive into online communities,
Okay.
and more specifically, how to grow them.
Sounds good.
You'd mentioned that you were interested in maybe building yours,
Yeah, definitely.
and we found this YouTube video
Okay.
called How to Grow Your School Community and Make 48K in 17 Days.
Wow.
And it really caught our eye.
Yeah, catchy title for sure.
And it features advice from this guy, Stephen G. Pope, who seems to have this whole community building thing figured out.
Yeah, and what I find really fascinating about this is that he's using Skool, which is a platform that's specifically designed for creating and managing online communities. And he's clearly tapped into something special.
Yeah.
And it's not just about, attracting a crowd. It's about cultivating a really engaged community and offering some real value there.
So how do we unpack this? One of the things that he talks about in the video is consistency.
Okay.
And we're talking about content creation multiple times a day,
Wow.
which sounds pretty intense.
It is a commitment.
Okay.
And he even says that many people just underestimate what it takes to build a really thriving online community.
Okay.
They spread themselves too thin, trying to chase too many objectives at once. So his advice is to focus on your audience's needs and not just what inspires you in the moment. He gives this great example of how instead of directly pitching Skool as the solution. He might start by talking about, the frustration of low engagement or the difficulty of monetizing online courses. These are all pain points that I think anyone who's aspiring to build a community can relate to.
It's so true.
Right.
It's like empathy first, solutions later.
Exactly.
I can see how that would build a stronger connection with your audience.
He argues that, someone might not even realize that they need a platform like Skool.
Okay.
But they can definitely relate to those struggles that he's highlighting.
Yeah.
And once that connection is made, they're far more likely to be receptive to what he has to offer.
Makes sense.
But it goes beyond just understanding your audience's struggles. It's about tailoring your content to address those needs directly.
Okay.
He actually narrows down his approach to 3 specific content styles, and they're actually really interesting.
Lay it on me.
Okay, so the first style is all about addressing those daily struggles that we were just talking about.
Okay.
But the second one, this is where things get interesting.
Okay.
He recommends identifying commonly accepted practices within your niche and then arguing against them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's bold.
It is.
That's going to start some conversation.
Exactly, and that's the point.
Okay.
It's about challenging those assumptions and standing out from the crowd a little bit.
Right, and not just to be provocative.
Exactly.
Right, like it has to be authentic to...
It has to be authentic to you and your brand.
Okay.
The example that he uses in the video is advocating for community-led growth instead of relying on cold emailing.
Okay.
And, it might ruffle some feathers, but it aligns perfectly with his own approach and what he's selling. I've actually tried something similar in my own community.
Interesting.
And let me tell you, it sparked a lot of debate.
Oh.
But ultimately, it led to a more engaged and invested audience.
They say no press is bad press.
Right.
As long as you're being genuine and it aligns with your values.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got empathy-driven content. We've got challenging the status quo.
Yep.
What's that third style?
All right, so the third style is all about showcasing results.
Okay.
He really stresses the importance of highlighting the achievements that you or your clients have attained, especially as those results relate to your target audience's aspirations.
So if you're trying to build a thriving school community, you should be showing people how you did it.
Exactly.
How you helped somebody else do it.
Yeah, proof over promises.
Proof over promises.
Right.
Okay.
And that actually ties into another crucial point that he emphasizes, and that's authenticity. He warns against putting on a facade or inflating your expertise.
Which is so tempting sometimes.
Oh, I know, especially
in the online world.
It's so easy to do that online.
Have you seen that backfire?
Oh, all the time.
In your work with communities?
All the time. Building a community is about building trust.
Right.
And that foundation crumbles pretty quickly if people sense that you're not being genuine.
Yeah. It's like that saying people can smell BS from a mile away.
Exactly.
And in a community setting, that's deadly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the content, but what about the environment itself?
Okay.
Did he share any insights into how he structures his Skool community?
He did, and this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
He actually walks us through the structure of his Skool community.
Yeah.
And it's clear that he's put a lot of thought into creating a very welcoming and engaging environment right from the moment someone joins.
I love that he doesn't just talk about it. He shows us
Exactly.
how he sets up the community that's valuable.
Very valuable.
What stood out to you?
Well, he walks us through his intro post.
Okay.
How he uses the classroom section, the importance of the calendar feature. It's all very deliberate. And it's designed to guide members towards engagement.
It's like he's giving us a behind-the-scenes look at his playbook.
Exactly.
And speaking of playbooks, he even mentions having a whole course on monetizing Skool communities.
He does.
Which, given the title of this YouTube video,
right.
Clearly he's figured something out.
Clearly.
He didn't just stumble into making 48K in 17 days.
Yeah.
Did he reveal any specific tactics in the video?
You know, he alludes to a few things.
Okay.
He doesn't give away the farm completely in this particular video.
Right.
But he does mention that his course delves deeper into strategies like creating and selling digital products within your Skool community, leveraging affiliate marketing, even running paid challenges or workshops.
Wow.
So he really emphasizes that a successful Skool community isn't just about having a large number of members.
Right.
It's about creating a valuable ecosystem where you can offer products and services that genuinely benefit your audience.
So it sounds like it's not just about having a rigid plan.
Right.
It's about being adaptable.
Yes.
And responsive to your community's needs.
Absolutely.
Did you get that sense as well?
Absolutely. He actually talks about how important it is to be constantly listening to your audience. Okay.
And being willing to adjust your approach based on their feedback.
So important.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
He gave this example of how he had initially structured his community in a certain way.
Okay.
But then, based on feedback from members, he realized it wasn't quite working.
Yeah.
And, you know, instead of sticking to that original plan, he was willing to be flexible and make changes based on what his community actually needed.
It's so easy to get attached to our ideas.
It really is.
But at the end of the day, a community is a two-way street.
It is.
You're not just broadcasting into the void.
Right.
You're building relationships. And like any relationship, it takes work.
Yes.
It takes communication, and it takes a willingness to adapt and grow together.
Absolutely. And I think that's what makes Stephen's approach so refreshing.
Oh, he's not afraid to admit that he doesn't have all the answers.
Yeah.
But he's committed to figuring it out alongside his community.
Right.
And that kind of authenticity goes a long way.
Huge.
It does.
So to recap, building a successful online community like Stephen's takes consistency in your content creation, authenticity in your approach, a strategic plan.
Yes.
But also the flexibility to adapt.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else that stood out to you?
You covered the key points beautifully.
Okay, good.
The biggest takeaway for me is that building a thriving community is an ongoing process.
Okay.
It requires dedication, a deep understanding of your audience, and a commitment to providing value at every turn.
And don't underestimate the power of being yourself.
So true.
Your authentic voice combined with the right strategies can create something truly special.
It really can.
It really can.
Yeah.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
But I'm curious.
Yeah.
What resonated most with you from Stephen's advice?
Oh, that's a good question.
Was it the content strategies? The community structure?
Yeah.
Or something else entirely?
Okay.
And what one action step will you take to apply this to your own community building?
Got it.
We want to hear from you.
Yes.
Think about it. Take action.
Yes.
And keep those communities growing.
Absolutely.
Until next time.